For decades, these three communities have been locked in a bitter dispute. The question in everyone's mind is, why can't they find common ground? Is it pride, ignorance, or greed that's driving the stalemate? And what's holding the government from stepping in to broker a lasting solution? Ilobu is one of three communities currently in a land dispute with two of its neighbors, Ifon and Osun. The land controversy predates most of the residents here. One would have thought with time this controversy would have ended. But it has snowballed into deadly attacks for most of the communities around here. The drums greet the chiefs and ballers of the community, but in the silence of the drums you will see the grief on their faces. They too have lost loved ones, property and their peace to the land.
We had clear-cut boundary, but if our Osun community would not want to respect the agreement about the boundary, before the present Orolu local government was carved out of Irekpodo local government, the old Irekpodo local government used to have three communities, major communities. There are other small communities and villages and settlements, Ilobu, Ifon, and Neri. But in 1996, Ifon Osun was carved out of the old Irekpodo local government, and they were given Orolu local government. Then, before the local government was carved out, the three communities were contiguous with each other. Hardly you know the boundaries amongst the three communities. But among the three communities, Ilobu was first to settle in or around 16th century, and thereafter some other people who were displaced in their place of origin by intertribal or intratribal war or Fulani raids came to the first settler in Ilobu, La Rossi, to seek for land and to seek for an abode from attack. And one of such communities is the community known as Ifon Osun today. And they sought refuge from the then Olobu, Omalara, who settled them at a place near Akwipanroro. It's not far from Ilobu community. So later, the ancestral founder of the present Ifon Osun came from Ifanle to seek refuge here, and he was first settled at Akenno compound within the Ilobu community.
The echoes of violence still linger in this community. The story of destruction bears disturbing similarities to that of Ifon. They both lost members of their community, families are displaced, in search of safer grounds, and a cycle of blame that refuses to break. Both communities point fingers at each other, each side convinced that the other started the recent clashes. Just like the people of Ifon, those in Ilobu took us to at least 7 affected communities. These places were destroyed during the communal clash. This middle-aged man with the name Adekunle Olalekon started building his 4-bedroom apartment about a year ago. He had saved up his earnings for 7 years. His plan was to get a permanent residence for his family who currently lives in Ondo State. His dreams are now shattered. All that remains on this piece of land are rubbles and outgrown weed.
Ọ̀nà bíyì tó jẹ́ shortcut bíyì òní wọ́n gbà wá tó jẹ́ pé wọ́n pọ̀ tí wọ́n fi wá láti wá dìmọ̀ ní síbíyì. Wọ́n ti wá dìmọ̀ ní síbíyì tán ní bọ́ sí àwọn ìgboro. Wọ́n bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní ba àwọn kan náà jẹ́ ní àwọn iná lọ́hùn.
So láti bí báyìí, so gbogbo bí báyìí sí bí Ọláníyàn estate.
Ọláníyàn estate ní Ìlúbù òní bí bájì. Àti shortcut yẹn wọ́n ní ọ̀nà ẹlẹ́sẹ̀ kan wà níbíjì tó jọ́nà ojúgbó. Ibẹ̀ ni wọ́n trespass tí wọ́n fi wá sí ibi láti bílù. 4-bedroom yẹn ló wà wájú ní ọwọ́ ẹ̀yìn. 4 shop yẹn ló wà ní wájú bíjì. Ìgbọ́n láti ìgbà tí ṣẹlẹ̀ yẹn ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ tó ti ṣẹlẹ̀ mi ò wá sí ibi mọ́ torí ẹ̀ ló jẹ́ láì pé igbó yẹn ó ní ó fi kún tí kò fi dàbẹ́ ni pé bóyá ó clear.
As this Islamic college is not too far from the narrow road the invaders came through. Although it was not touched in the invasion, the school is now abandoned. The fear from the attack is still as strong as the attack itself. For the safety of the children, the school relocated from the contentious area and is now closer to the rest of the community. But the children have to walk a few more meters to get to school. But that's not the only problem with the makeshift school.
It is not convenient for us. It is not convenient for us at all. Because according to Yoruba adage, wọ́n ní ilé èyàn kò dàbí ilé onílé kò dàbí ilé ààrẹ ni. It is not convenient for us. There is no enough space for us. There is no enough space for the teachers, for the students.
In Odoje, one of the hot spots, you will see houses owned by indigenes of both Ifon and Ilobu destroyed, with a barrage of bullet shells littering the community. The health facility is now deserted. It's hard to tell where the boundary is between the communities. While the three communities are laying claim to the land, houses are being built on the borders. Brick by brick, the communities expanded and are now closer than before, at least geographically. Now, a family from Ilobu has a family from Ifon as a neighbor. But when the crisis starts, neighbors become enemies.
I was in the house. I started contacting police. They could not come down because everybody, we were fasting. They couldn't come. But when it was around 7 a.m., we could not bear anything again. My palace is over there. Look at this building. This building belonged to my community member. Look at it. After they put fire, after they raised building completely, they even started demolishing the building. You can see it physically. By my left-hand side of this road, up to about 800 meters from the starting point, you can see that the road just completed. You can see chinnages. The chinnages started from the starting point of the road. About 800 meters has been raised out. No any building there again. They put fire, they burned the building completely. By looking at the right-hand side also, almost all the building has been raised, they put fire, up to the market.
lóòrù náà tẹ̀ bẹ̀rẹ̀ wọ́n ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ gbàtílẹ̀ máa kàn gbọ́ pé wọ́n ti sún gbogbo ṣọ́ọ̀pù ọjọ́ òbúlà wà yìí gbogbo ṣọ́ọ̀pù yìí pátápátá báyìí ló ti sún kódà àwọn ilé wọn ti innovate ẹ̀ ní gbogbo yìí báyìí àwọn ṣọ́ọ̀pù wa orí ṣọ́ọ̀pù mẹ́ta ní ṣọ́ọ̀pù tiwa gangan ṣọ́ọ̀pù ẹlẹ́ẹ̀kẹrin ẹran là ń tà ń bẹ̀ ẹran bíi 50 àgbò ni kò sí mútu kò sí tún bẹ̀ kìkì àwọn àgbò ní ńláńlá la rà síbẹ̀ fún ọdún tàfẹ́ àṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ rà ni ṣọ́ọ̀pù eléyìí foodstuff là ń kó síbẹ̀ àwọn ọjà àpò èlùbọ́ dáwà soya beans kankan ló wà nínú ibi báyìí ṣọ́ọ̀pù kejì nìyẹn aṣọ àwọn bùtíìkì ló wà níbẹ̀ àwọn wíìgì attachment kankan ló wà ní ṣọ́ọ̀pù kejì bẹ́yìn ìkẹta wines là ń tà níbẹ̀ ọjà millions bí in fact mi lè zero rẹ̀ going to 100 million over 100 millions lówó ọjà tó ń bọ̀nù tí ìdí kankan máa ṣe báyìí for now lókun wá jókòó ṣọ́ọ̀pù torí wọ́n ṣẹ̀ ń tó ṣọ́ọ̀pù mi ò tí ì ní kankan ṣe.
2009 ni mo ra ilẹ̀ bíbá yìí so láti 2009 yẹn náà mo ti ń develop ẹ̀ so last year 2024 ni mo parí rẹ̀ even sef mo fẹ́ ṣe ìtúnu àwẹ̀ ní bíbá yìí gbogbo ẹrù ti wà ń bẹ̀ ṣàdédé ni wọ́n pè á láti gbòòrò pé wọ́n ti sun ilé ọ̀dọ̀ mi mo ti sáré dé ibà mo pé irú wàhálà wo lélẹ̀ ọdún òun tó fẹ́ kọ́ ilé mi báyìí so àtìgbà yẹn kò sí nǹkan kan tá a fẹ́ ṣe pé kọ́lọ́n sá help wa kọ́lọ́n gbàdúrà wa torí pé n tó tiẹ̀ ń ṣẹlẹ̀ láàrin Ìfọ̀n Ìlóbù Ẹ̀rìn kò yé wa ibi tá a kọ́lé sí kò ń ṣe pé ààrà lẹ̀ kì í ṣe pa ajílẹ̀ ìyàwó mi àti àbúrò mi ti ń gbénu lé family house gbogbo àpadà sí ní ìsìn nígbà lé tẹ́yẹ afẹ́mọ́ àmọ́ gbé jẹ́ ti sùn so kò síbi kankan tá a fẹ́ gbé mọ́ kọjá ká padà sí family house.
wọ́n máa tún ilé nǹkan ó máa tóbi èlò.
wàláì tí yóò bá kọ́ ilé nìsí lẹ́yìn 50 million ni torí pé tv tí mo rà close to 600 àga tí mo kàn bí 1 million 7 owó èyàn gan lásán yàrá fẹ́ ṣe rúfin ilé lásán pop lásán pop gbà tí mo ṣe bóyá bíi 2 million naira tí bá fẹ́ ṣe pop nísìn yóò lé ní 5 million so láti lè sọ pé actual amount iye báyìí tí yàn bá di 50 million lọ nísìn pé yàn fẹ́ ṣe lè tó wà taste torí gbogbo ẹ̀ pátá pop mo ṣe so àti lè sọ pé yàn fẹ́ ṣe gan nísìn gan ó lágbára gan bá ní 50 million lọ gan nísìn lẹ́yìn kí n kó Nàìjíríà pé màá sọ pé mo tún wá fẹ́ fi kọ́lé síbi wàhálà ìyìn lé ní 50 million nísìn ń kó Nàìjíríà pẹ̀lú ìyàwó àtọmọ yìí àmọ́ pa kù lọ́mọ ṣerú lọ́wọ́ á padà mú ire bọ̀ náà ni tọ́lọ́run dáhùn kọ́mọ́ dáyàn padà sẹ́yìn so gba àtàwà ládùúgbò ní kò sẹ́ni tínú rẹ̀ dùn ẹni tó lè sọ pé òun tó fọwọ́ sọ̀yà ní ìsìn pé kódà kí ìjọba kó fún àdìsí pé ọyẹ wa tó lé yín kọ́ kò rọrùn fún aláìsọ pé a fẹ́ kọ́lé bì mọ́ torí pé àmọ́ wò pé ní tí ẹ ṣe fún àìkílódé tí wò ní ṣe padà ìgbà tí ẹ̀ ń talẹ̀ wa gbogbo létẹ̀ ń wò ládùúgbò ìpátá báyìí kò sí ilé Ifọ̀n kankan bí báyìí ilé kan péré tó jẹ́ ilé Ifọ̀n ìlọ́wà lẹ́yìn wa wọ́n sì ń pè ní kẹ́lẹ́ ajísáfẹ́ ó nìkan wò súnlé rẹ̀.
The battle for the land is fought both in the court and on the street. While documents are filed in courts, houses in the communities are razed down. The people are hoping for a quick resolution before they run out of shelter.
Okay, the committee agreed on a boundary demarcation amongst the three communities. Erin had agitated for a place. Erin had agitated that part of Ilobu community belonged to Erin Osun, and the agitation was recent. It was not as old as that of Ifọ̀n Osun. So they now set up the committee. The committee now agreed on a boundary demarcation, and that demarcation, unfortunately, Oyinlola could not complete the process because Rauf Aregbesola took over from him through judgment from the court before he completed his tenure. So Rauf continued where Oyinlola left the issue of the demarcation of the boundary, and Rauf Aregbesola completed it. He approved it, made it a document called Gazette, a 2014 Gazette. I'm coming. Immediately the Gazette was released, the Ifọ̀n Osun community went to court again to challenge the Gazette and took Irepodo local government as well as Oba Ashiru Olatoye Olaniyan and Oba Yusuf Oyagbodo Eleni of Erin Osun to court, that what is contained in that particular Gazette is not acceptable to him. And the court said what the committee did was in line with the law. And Ifọ̀n also lost that particular case. They are presently at the Court of Appeal.
At this point in the story, we knew two things about Erin Osun. They had reached a deal with Ifọ̀n to settle their land disputes peacefully.
I have testified before the committee that the committee should not come in between the Ifọ̀n and Erin. And Erin also testified that we have resolved our matters amicably.
And they were accused of joining forces with the same Ifọ̀n community to attack Ilobu.
When there was communal clash, the two of them descended on Ilobu community. Is this going to be the first time that is the first time.
Well, that's if you choose to believe them. Every community has their own story.
When we talk of the land issue between us and Ilobu, it has been so long to the extent that there was a period the Council of Obas in Osun State, they came and mediated between the two communities, Osun and Ilobu, to the extent that what we regarded as the praying ground, Muslim praying ground, was ceded to Ilobu. The same thing, the part of the AUD and Southern praying ground also ceded to Ilobu, and some part, even the present police station, Ilobu Division Police Station, the land there was ceded to Ilobu just to make peace. So thereafter, after some years, the land between us and Ifan, because the land that is causing problem today between us and Ilobu is the issue between us and Ifan. There's a particular compound in Ifan, we refer it to Afin Ifan. So the land is between us and that particular chiefdom. That compound in Ifan, Afin, started selling the land to Ilobu. Ilobu bid on the land. They now named the place Ayedade Ilobu. Our contention is that even if the land in question is sold to you by Ifan, the address on that land is supposed to be Ifan, so that the case that we are having with Ifan will continue the case. But they name it Ayedade Ilobu. And in 2021 precisely, during the demarcation, as demarcation by the National Population Commission, that time I sent message to our Kabiyesi that Kabiyesi should inform the Olobu that the land in question, in contention, that we should agree before the Population Commission staff get to that place, so that there won't be problem. Kabiyesi did exactly that. Olufan sent 4 of his chiefs to the palace of Elerin. And when they got here, they went to that land and they told us that, okay, they are going to give Olobu feedback that actually the land in question belongs to Erin. That people from the Ilobu that are staying there, if they don't want to be counted as part of Erin, that they should move to their compound. But we didn't get reply from Olobu until the day the Population Commission people went to that place to do the demarcation. That's when we saw about 25 people marching down to Erin with veil and guns. So that's how that 2021 crisis started. It belonged to us, and it's already stated here. We've been to court about it. We have won at the High Court. And so we have also taken the panel set up by the state government to the place, including our schools there. We even showed them the pillar they destroyed at the eve of the panel's visitation.
Mo wà ní travel, mo gbọ́ pé wọ́n ń jà. Ìgbà tí màá sì fi dé ilé, mo bá ilé mi pé wọ́n ti jó ilé mi. So nínú ilé yẹn náà, bẹ́ẹ̀ ni gbogbo ìṣẹ̀mí ayé mi wà. Dúkìá mi, dúkìá ìyàwó mi, dúkìá àwọn ọmọ mi, gbogbo nǹkan tí mo ní pátápátá ibẹ̀ náà ló wà. Bẹ́ẹ̀ torí pé mo sì ń tún ta mọ́tò fún yàn, gbogbo mọ́tò document pátápátá, gbogbo certificate mo fi lọ sí school, gbogbo nǹkan tí mo ní pátápátá inú ilé ló wà. So mo bá inú ilé jíjóná láì rí nǹkan kan mú jáde níbẹ̀. Mi ò rí nǹkan kan mú jáde níbẹ̀. Gbogbo plasma, gbogbo certificate ọmọ mi tán lọ university pátápátá, gbogbo ẹrù ìyàwó mi, ẹrù ọmọ mi, ẹrù ẹbí, ẹrù ará. Wọ́n jó ilé yẹn ní ọjọ́ Friday. Ọjọ́ Friday ni wọ́n jó ilé yẹn. Obìlà kó síbí. Bí tí mo ń gbé ni. Bí tí mo ń gbé ni. So bẹ́ẹ̀dì tó wà nínú yàrá inú ilé yìí ó tó mẹ́jọ. Àwọn ox fan tí mo ní 4. Mo dẹ̀ ní ceiling fan 6. So mo dẹ̀ ní àwọn bí báàgì ráìsì 3. Àwọn wine torí ìnáwó dáàdì mi kú jọ́ 15 ni wọ́n jó ilé yìí. Dáàdì mi ṣe kú nígbà tí àwẹ̀ di 7 ni dáàdì mi kú. So a dẹ̀ láti fà ṣe 40 ọjọ́ wọn. 40 ọjọ́ wọn yẹn kú jọ́ 15 ni wọ́n jó ilé. gbogbo tí mo fẹ́ fi ṣènáwó pátá ní ilé ló wà wọ́n dẹ̀ jó gbogbo ẹ̀ mi ò rí nǹkan kan mú jáde lẹ́yìn aṣọ kan tó wà lọ́rùn mi aṣọ kan ló wà lọ́rùn ìyàwó mi tó wà lọ́rùn ọmọ méjì tí wọ́n wà nílé náà ní nǹkan tá a ní gbogbo dúkìá tí mo ní jọ ti bí mi sáyé ìbí náà lọ́wọ́ dẹ̀ jó gbogbo ẹ̀ mi ò rí nǹkan kan mú jáde o àwọn òbí tó jóná nílé náà ní báyìí àwọn òbí tó jóná nílé náà ní àwọn òbí yẹn ni òbí ta lórí sínú ilé nu bó ṣe wá ń gbónú stone bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ́rùn gbogbo àwọn gáàsì kù àtẹ̀yàwó mi fi dáná ọdún ni gbogbo gáàsì kù fi dáná ọdún ni yàrá àwọn mi tó wà lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ ni SARS office ló ti ń ṣiṣẹ́ lẹ́kọ̀ọ́ so gbogbo ó fẹ́ ṣe wedding lọ́dún ni gbogbo tó fẹ́ fi ṣe wedding pátá ibi ló wà wọ́n jó gbogbo ẹ̀.
CAC Primary School was founded in 1954. The school has 2 buildings, but one was burnt down during the crisis, leaving teachers to merge pupils from different classes into one classroom. Although the attack happened months ago, only a few pupils have resumed. The teachers and pupils are scared.
It is around middle of night that they started burning our school and they burnt it to ashes. When I got to the school the following day, I was so sad. And now we are suffering from so many things like chairs, buildings, chalkboard, certificate, and all of our, and we needed some textbook and all our skiji that we are using for teaching this. We are expecting government to provide it for us, but inside the buildings and burnt to ashes. Yes.
So even so help us understand. So this particular block that was burnt, apart from this block, were there any damage to the other buildings?
There are some damages on some other buildings. They tried to burn some other buildings, but they are unable to succeed there, like that place. Okay. So we are expecting government to come and intervene quickly so that we'll be able to start the normal duty. We are just renovating some of 4-5 classrooms by ourselves from the money we got from the iron roof that we sold in the other time. Okay, so you sold the iron roof? The remaining one that not burnt to ashes. That is why we use that money to manage the remaining classroom, but that we kept our pupils.
Back in Osogbo, the state capital, the state government constituted a 100-man committee, 25 members from each warring community, and 25 members to represent the government. But no sooner had the committee started its peace talks that one of the communities claimed some of the government representatives are biased, and so they were asked to step down.
The difference between this committee and the previous committee is that we have 5 traditional rulers in this committee. It has never happened before. So in essence, when there is crisis between communities, the traditional rulers has major role to play. And those traditional rulers in this committee, they are doing a yeoman job now. We have visited the lodges. We've moved around all the areas. So currently now, we are meeting the traditional rulers on how they think we can solve it permanently. And I believe the report of this committee will be the permanent solution to the problem. Because they have judgment of court, they have various. If judgment of court cannot stop it, 18-man panel cannot do it, 6-man administrative panel cannot do it, I believe this 100-man committee should be able to achieve success over the matter.
Our committee tíjọba Ọ̀ṣun ṣe ti gbé kalẹ̀ lórí ọ̀rọ̀ yìí. Lè sọ pé wọn ò lè parí ìjà yìí. Sì lè sọ pé wọn ó parí rẹ̀. Ṣùgbọ́n kọ́má kan wà ńbẹ̀. Tí wọ́n bá máa ṣètò ọ̀rọ̀ yìí, kì í sọ̀rọ̀ tí wọ́n lè wòran pẹ́. Wọ́n ó tètè ṣe tí wọ́n bá ṣe. Kí wọ́n jẹ́ kí A kó máa láti ẹ̀, kí B kó máa láti ẹ̀, kí C kó máa láti ẹ̀. Torí tó bá ń pẹ́ nǹkan mi ò tó súyọ ìjọba federal kó gbà wá kí wọ́n bá dá sọ́rọ̀ yìí kó bá lè níyànjú kíjọba àpapọ̀ ràn á lọ́wọ́ a fẹ́ àlàáfíà tí búkà kan bá bàjẹ́ nílòbù kò yé àwọn wípé ní àti fọ́n àtẹ̀rìn àti lòbù ló bàjẹ́ fún tó bá ti pọ́ bá bàjẹ́ ní fọ́n kò yé àwọn pé àti lòbù àti fọ́n àtẹ̀rìn lájọ ní tó bá bàjẹ́ ní ìlòbù náà ní ẹ̀rìn náà kò yé wọn lọ bẹ́ẹ̀.
As the people of Osun State look to the future, they hold on to hope. Hope that their leaders will find a way to resolve the dispute without further bloodshed. Hope that their communities will be rebuilt and their children will grow up in peace. Hope that one day the drums of war will be silenced. The sun sets over the state of the living spring. The people of Ifon, Ilobu and Osun are left to ponder the uncertain future of their communities. Will the 100-man committee be able to broker a lasting peace, or will the cycle of violence continue? One thing is certain, the people of Osun yearn for peace.